are females better than males? I particularly love this question. When I was looking through the questions, this is the one that caught my attention, the one that made me think of the most about it. So I would say both yes and then no, and then yes and then no. So why am I saying yes, no, yes, no? So first, yes. Within the church, we oftentimes talk about the distinction between what's called the Petrine ministry and what's called the Marian ministry. The Petrine ministry is the responsibility of the ministerial church, priests, deacons, bishops, that are supposed to guide and lead the church. However, we say, on the other hand, that there is the Marian ministry, the Marian aspect of the church. Just as Mary, the mother of Jesus, held all of these things, meditating upon them in her heart, so too each Christian is supposed to be meditating upon them. So if we say like the Petrine and the Marian are supposed to be symbolic of the masculine and the feminine, the masculine exists not for its own sake, but for the sake of the feminine. The Petrine exists for the sake of the Marian. And so in a sense, yes, it is. On the other hand, now for why I would say no the first time, we oftentimes will say that there are many parts in the body of Christ, and though many parts, we are one. How can the ear say to the hand, I do not need you? How can the eye say to the nose, I have no use of you? That there are different responsibilities and ministries in the church, and each one has its proper function, has its proper role. And so to try to compare the masculine and feminine and say the Petrine is supposed to be ordered to the Marian, therefore the masculine is less than the feminine, not really. That doesn't quite hold up, and so it does seem as though there is a sort of movement there. However, we then come to my but yes, in the sense that ultimately the role of humanity, if we were to look at the cosmos masculine and the cosmos feminine, the feminine is supposed to be like the familial, the bringing together. If we look to Paralandra by C.S. Lewis, we see this image of the feminine being the sort of reason to live, this unifying thing, this family aspect that nurtures and cares and brings together, whereas the masculine is the more protecting. This great image of C.S. Lewis, the Melikara, the Mars, the cosmic masculine, had a sailor's look who looked to where his enemy came from afar, constantly on guard, constantly on vigil. And so in a sense, the masculine defends the feminine. But then, on the other hand, no. Fundamentally, humanity has a one nature. While the masculine and the feminine are two instantiations of this, they are united in one common human nature. And so they are fundamentally united, that you can't have one without the other. And so while each one might have particular aspects to it, particular things that are important, they are supposed to be united. They shouldn't be one's elevated above the other. They are to be united. So, yes, no, yes, but no.